Hello viewers, welcome to another player spotlight on the channel. I hope you've been looking forward to this one because yet again, I've done it again. I found a player, well, someone told me who it was, and apologies, I can't remember exactly who it was, but someone told me about this player, I checked him out, and on the weekend, I did a very successful player spotlight with that player. Now, I know a lot of you guys have been wanting some other players outside of strikers, and I hear you, and I am listening. So, for the next 4 player spotlights, I have all midfielders, and then after that, I will try and find some defenders for you. Over the course of the next 2 weeks will be the midfielders, and then going forward will be the defenders. So, hopefully today, I found you a lovely little player who can play across all the positions in the midfield, but his main position is on that left-hand side. Shall we take a look at him? Now, before we actually do take a look at him, you guys have been smashing the support on these player spotlights, and I really want that to continue. If we can, smash that like button, because you didn't do so as much on the last video, but the video before that, you really outdone yourself. So please, I am going to keep providing you with these type of players, and today, this player is actually going to cost you less than John Ramirez, but he's better. So that deserves a like button. That really does. And in fact, if you haven't done so already, then you need to press subscribe as well. Because surely, this is subscriber worthy. And this is the player we are speaking about today, Konrad Wallum. Now, he is Norwegian and he plays in the Norwegian League. Konrad Wallum, he is valued at 1.6k. Now, he's 19 years old, but I think already you can quite see that he's quite a valuable player. Maybe not for the top echelon of European clubs, but like a John Ramirez, I think he's going to be quite good. Now, this guy, you're not going to believe this, but I can put this right down to 1k and they accept. £1,000 and they accept for Konrad Wallum. Now, I'm not messing around this time, viewers. I have put him on loan at a club in Romania. Once again, we're going back to Romania. I quite like Romania. And I think you're going to be quite surprised with how well this player does throughout the course of the years we're going to be looking at him. Now, the reason why I put him on loan is for the simple reason that I want to be able to train him, which I've been able to do. But I did still make the mistake of putting the future transfer on because I wasn't sure how it works out. So for the next 4 player spotlights, they're going to be a future transfer, but on loan. And I hope that doesn't annoy you too much because it started to annoy me that I kept seeing that even though they're on loan. Now, going forward, I know that I can just put them on loan without terminating it and we'll be absolutely fine. But anyway, this is how he's done. This is a club I have chosen for him and we are already 2 seasons in. So yes, I'm not messing around. I've gone 2 seasons in because I think really we understand really what this is about. The first season they always struggle slightly and you can see it anyway. We're starting in season 2 and we're starting off with an absolute wonderful season for Konrad. 23 goals for this left winger. He is the top scorer of the club at the club that won the league. And they did win the league back to back. Because as you can see, they won it the previous year, the 1920 season. This is the 2021 season. So 2 seasons in a row. He was the joint second top scorer this year. And he isn't around there anywhere else. But let's have a look at him, shall we? Because he's done very well. And ignore these downward arrows. Ignore that completely because you can clearly see he's already a very good player. And if we click off and go back on, can we see his current ability has gone up by about 30? So that is exceptionally good within the 2 years that we have been playing, and he's already valued at a 4-star current ability. Now, ignore the fact that his potential ability is only 4-star. He has the potential range of going up to 140, and I set this up so that he is at least 135, so he should be good. Now, as you can see, some really good attributes here. He has good determination, very good passing technique. His vision's already really good. Dribbling, first touch. You can see why he's scoring a lot of goals in the Romanian league. So far in his 2 seasons, he has scored 17 goals in 70 appearances. I think that must mean he didn't score a lot in the first season, and it doesn't. This is why we ignore the first season, viewers. 4 goals, 4 assists. However, this season, so much better. Still a low average rating, but 13 goals in 35 games with 6 assists and 3 player of the matches. Now, because we're looking at midfielders and defenders going forward, I think we're going to have a look at the stats page a little bit more, because usually it's a striker and we're just looking at the goals, and that's really what we're basing on how well this player does. But we need to look at how the passing's getting on, whether he keeps the ball. And remember, he's playing slightly further up the pitch, so he's playing on the left-hand side here, and I will show you the formation that I'm using. But as we can see here, key passes, 59 key passes just this season, 1,232 passes with 965 of them completed. So a 68, oh my god, what's wrong with me today? 78% succeeded in those passes with 267 failed. But of course, because he's further up, we can sort of understand that. If he's playing the deep line playmaker role, we'd expect that to be close to the higher 80s. And as we can see here, the minutes per assist is 496, but minutes per goal is really low, so 194 for a left winger. It's not that bad, to be honest. Some good shots on target, nearly 2 shots on target every game. Some dribbles made too every game. Passes completed, roughly around about 20 passes completed every game. And the tackles won, he's getting about 1.5 in behind my face there per game. So some really good contributions from this player. This is across all competitions as well. 55 appearances, and that includes the Champions League. And with the Champions League, we were knocked out in the group stage, and it was won by Real Madrid. However, runner-up in the Cup and winner of the Super Cup. Here we are then at the end of season number 3. And yet again, Conrad is the top scorer of this side. And we're still winning things. We won the league this time round by 10 points, so still a very successful season. The transfer budget's going up. Remember, I am doing the transfers, and you're gonna like the name that I've brought in. I think it's next season. You're really gonna like the name I brought in, and maybe I'll give that away already. Now, if we go to how we've been doing in the competitions, just to see, we won the Cup this time round, so that's fantastic. We were knocked out of the second round of the Europa League after being third place in the after being knocked out in the player. And how weird is that we were both times we were knocked out by Copenhagen? That is very bizarre. What a shame. Anyway, ignore that. How's our man doing? Conrad. He's getting even better, viewers. He's getting even better, and we want to see his current abilities. So his current ability's gone up again to 132, so it's gone up by 5. So some attributes have risen, and as you can see, passing and technique being one of them, and vision. Anticipation, I think, is up there as well, because he didn't have as many greens as last time round. What has he done this season? A phenomenal season of 12 goals, 12 assists, a high average rating. This is what you want from a left winger, right? In 34 appearances, 24 goal contributions, you've got to be happy with that. You've got to be happy. This is the tactic we're playing, by the way. So we're playing a very bog standard. I've literally just gone on Gegenpress as a custom Gegenpress and put it on. My mouse is broken. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But we are on attacking. Ignore that, it goes down. Anyway, but that's what we're playing him as an inside forward on attack. So I think he's performing really well, and I'm quite pleased with his development. If we have a look at the progress, and we go on our attributes, and of course we go down to all time, we can start to see where the progression is really coming in. So a lot of 2s and a couple of 3s there on the mental attributes. Again, a 3 there on strength, which you probably can't see. 2 on pace, 1 on stamina, and then a couple high ones on acceleration and agility. And the technical attributes, some really good ones here, and he's just slowly getting better and better. But he was already rather decent for this level, which is the reason why I chose Romania. I like the league to be playing in, because you can sort of see how well a player like this does instead of chucking him in the Serie A. Like, a lot of you guys really enjoyed the John Ramirez one, because it's leagues that you guys will be playing in that John Ramirez will thrive in. And this is another one of them, and he's cheaper, and he's from Europe, so he doesn't count as like a foreign player or would need a work permit. He is absolutely golden. The end of season number 5 then. And it looks like this. And you can see the player that I spoke about that I signed has been a game changer. It's Louis bloody Montanu. He has come in the side, 36 goals for us and a very high average rating. So what we're going to see now instead is hopefully Conrad becoming the provider. It's not resting on him, and I think it's made a massive difference to them winning the league. And ignore the fact that it says play 10, that's just the championship group. If you go to the league table itself, 26 games before the championship playoff is played, then it's another 10. So they've done well overall, that's how they've basically done. That's how it's played out. So some really good performances there. Conrad Wallen, there he is, 11 assists. And he's also high in the average rating as well as a couple of other players. Louis Montagne wasn't even the top scorer of the league, but he still managed to get a lot throughout the season, which tells me we did really well in the Cups. And as you can see, we've won the league every single season so far. So FCSB, really happy. And while I'm at it, while I'm talking about this club, I actually have a Steaua Bucharest scarf. Now, I'm going to go to this screen here. The Steaua Bucharest team of Romania has transformed into FCSB, because of obviously complications that they had. They split into two teams. One's gone down into the amateur leagues. One is now in the Premier League still, which is this team. And one of my Patreon members, Snook, has sent me that scarf, which he has wore in games for when Steaua Bucharest has played against Ajax and beaten them, and even against Chelsea and beaten them. So that, massive thank you to Snook, who sent me that. Also sent me some Romanian beer, and I'm saving it for a stream when he is around so I can enjoy that when he is enjoying one himself, I'm sure. But look at this screen. I did graze over it very quickly. The Euro Cup, the Europa League, runners-up to Tottenham, and this is absolutely devastating because the goal that was scored by Tottenham was a very late one. 85th minute, we took the lead in the final. Harry Kane then scored at half-time, then Dele Alli on the 85th minute, and look at the players that they have compared to the players that we have. Really, you're probably only going to recognise at least two players with Wallen and Montagne, and probably didn't know Wallen before this, but you knew Louis Montagne, of course you did. If you know me, you know Louis Montagne. Maybe Miazga. But that's probably the only two players that you recognise, and we've managed to get to the final and only just lose out to this Tottenham side. So that, unfortunate, I think, but Louis Montagne is the highest top scorer of the league, and as you can see, while I'm there, doing very well again in the final. This is what he looks like, and he's progressing really nicely once again. I think you can agree. 138 current ability, so remember the highest is 140. This is what he's going to look like at his max. He's doing really well. So far, so good for the young Norwegian. This season, 15 goals and 11 assists. He keeps providing. 14 goals and 5 assists the season before. Not as good, but he did do better in player of the match performances. But I think we need to look at the reports again, and we need to look at some stats. So here we go once again. The percentage, of goals is. Oh my god, I still can't talk today. The percentage of passes succeeded is still the same at 78, but there are far more passes that he has done and completed, so that's always good. But he did play 2 more games, maybe that has a small little factor in there. But the average passes completed is around about 19. Shots on target once again at 2. Dribbles made though per game is higher, at least 1 more dribble per game, which is what we like to see. But these key passes this time round, and remember it's only 2 more games, 81 of them were key passes, and that is very, very good indeed. 25 goals out of the 182 shots. I think that's rather good. A 58% percentage of his shots were on target. That's really good for me. He also has an extremely good average rating throughout the whole season of 7.39, which I think we cannot braze over. And his worst performance was a 6, so other than that, I think that's rather good to be fair, and his best a 9.4. A very successful season here for Conrad. Gutted they couldn't pick up the Europa League. That's a shame, but still, really good. The final year then, it is the year 7, and we are here once again picking up the title. 48 points to their 40. Of course, it is a lot more because the points gets half. Louis Montagne still here. He is still getting loads of goals. However, he does actually leave during this, and I had to buy him back. So we bought him very early on in the first couple of seasons. He left. He scored 25 goals as well. He left for 3.9. We bought him back for 19. It was worth it because he's managed to score loads of goals, and I just wanted to have him in the side next to Conrad because I thought it'd be really cool, even though he's at the rival club. But we ignore that. He wanted to come. It's fine. We're not too worried about how he's doing. However, what we are worried about is how this man is doing. Now, he stayed at 138 because obviously he's not going to go up too much. So performance-wise, has he been doing the business? And look at this for a season. Look at that for a season. In 35 games, he scored 21 goals and got 18 assists. 18 with a 7.5 average rating. A phenomenal season. Absolutely phenomenal season in his 6th year. So really, I'm really pleased with that. 29 goals in total with 22 across 22 assists across the whole campaign of that season. Really strong performance from him. And one more time, we'll look at the stats here. I don't have to keep telling you. You can see his slightly better percentage. He's still doing really well. We're quite happy with how he's done. On a complete total, then, if we have a look at his complete progression, how he's done since he has joined, a couple of 5s there, a lot of 3s though, especially in the physical as well, a couple of 2s in the technical, but again, we didn't really need much on the technical. Even his marking's gone up to 9, like that's really, really good for a left winger to have 9 marking. Fair enough. 2 up on the heading, so he now has 8 heading, could be of use. But the main things are there for a player of this standard, in this league standard. He has great dribbling, he has good crossing, he has a good first touch, and his finishing, although it's gone down to an 11, it was a 12 during one season, it's still workable for this league, and you can see that happening in front of your eyes with the stats that we can see here. 21 goals. It doesn't matter, does it, that his finishing is only 11? He's still doing the business, and he is still working really well for the team. Always getting a good average rating from his 2nd season onwards. Just skyrocketing the average rating. Really happy with that. Competition-wise, we again were knocked out in the Europa League. We couldn't qualify for the Champions League, but we were runner-up for the Cup. Did we win the Cup the season before? We haven't done so. We have won it a couple of times, 3 times in total since we have been there. So still a really good season. And the league season, we haven't lost a league season since we started. The season before did really well. So overall, a really successful player spotlight. So there we have it then, viewers. Conrad Wallen, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. To find him in your games, you'll either have to load Norway as all the players from Norway, or you'll have to load Norway's league so that you have Arendelle and have all of their players so that he appears. But I think you can agree, for £1,000, he is totally worth it. From a European club as well, so you've got that in your arsenal instead of it being a non-EU and having to pay and having to register a certain amount of players. Like, he is crucial for a lot of different reasons, I think, as to why he turns out to be in it. It could be the best bargain that we've done on a player spotlight because of how cheap he is, because of his nationality, because of how good he is. Is he better than Louis Montanu in terms of like bargain power and stuff like that? I think that's for you to decide. Let me know down in the comments below. Of course, if you haven't done so already, surely how good this player spotlight was has persuaded you to smash that like button. Because if you haven't done so, I don't understand what you really want from me. I don't understand how I'm going to get a like button press out of you if I'm not bringing you a player spotlight just like I have done so there. So please, smash that like button. Can we beat that total again of 250? You got well over 300 on when I asked you to get the 250, and then it dropped off from the next one. If we can get above 250 again, a consistent 250 on the player spotlights, I'll keep them coming. I promise you that, because I've got a list that I just keep adding to. This guy wasn't even on the list, and then someone brought him to my attention. I like the look of him so much. I tested him on the weekend, and here he is now, and he is just probably one of the best that we have done so far. So there we have it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to me yet, then please, can you do just that? We are en route to 5,000 subscribers. I would like to get there before my birthday on the 28th of July. That would be phenomenal. Hopefully, you can help me get there as well. One last thing then, Patreon update. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to my Patreon or pledged to my Patreon in the last month. I understand that a lot of you pledged very late on in the month, and then because of the protection that I have on there where you pay up front, it then charged you again on the 1st. I really do apologize for that, and I know a lot of people have turned that off thinking that they've just been charged twice, but that's just the way Patreon works. Unfortunately, they charge you when you first pledge because it protects me, because then I don't give you rewards and then you bolt away without actually paying me, but then you also get charged on the 1st of every month. So if that has scared you off and you would like to pledge again and keep your support, because it did drop after I seen that happen, if you'd like to continue, then please let me know. You can pledge and I will refund you back straight away. And that's you know, I promise you I will do that. I've already done that for a couple of people when I've messaged them. So if you'd like to keep your pledge going but don't want to be charged yet again for joining, and you're worried that you were overcharged, that's just how Patreon works, unfortunately. But thank you to everyone who has pledged and will keep doing so. I really do appreciate it. We got above like $550 at one point. We were so close to that $600 target. We dropped off slightly now, but if we can get back up there, if we can get back up to that $600 tier, then maybe I can keep bringing you 2 player spotlights a week. I can bring 3 World Rotterdam Nation series out, and then I can do whatever I like on like Wreckfest again, because thank you very much for watching the Wreckfest video that we had on the weekend. You know, as soon as we get to that $600 target, who knows what will happen. To be honest, I'm still just giving you loads of videos anyway. I'm still doing it. But that's enough for me. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Well, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's another one below that I have picked for you to have a look at. Also, if you'd like to sponsor me as a content creator by pledging to my Patreon page, you can do just that by following the link below and be like one of these wonderful people. Thank you.